Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Well, it looks like it is on like Donkey Kong in Arizona. Sheriff Joe. How do you pronounce his last name? Arpaio? I think it's Arpaio. Arpaio? Something like that. Anyway, everybody knows him as Sheriff Joe. He's the guy who keeps prisoners in tents, military tents, and makes them wear pink underwear and eat green, I don't know, green bologna or something like that. Yeah, everybody loves the sheriff. Well, most everybody except for the liberals. They can't stand him. Anyway, so Sheriff Joe, he creates this little organization that he calls his cold case posse. I didn't know this, but apparently the sheriff can create this posse and give them subpoena power. True, it's a fact. It's a fact. Here's what he did. He creates this cold case posse to investigate the President of the United States, Barack Obama. And one of the things he started to investigate, of course, as we all know, is his eligibility to be President of the United States. Now, you can call Sheriff Joe a birther if you want. I know a lot of you will. But the fact of the matter is that Sheriff Joe's cold case posse has turned up some pretty interesting things. And, you take it for what it's worth, but I think we all know there's something in the woodpile. I'm not going to name it, but there's something in the woodpile. One of the latest things he asked for was to see Obama's draft registration from 1980. Mysteriously, or I shouldn't say mysteriously, let me put it a different way. Now, you know what? Mysteriously, sometimes I'm my own worst enemy and I just got to keep my mouth shut. Anyway, listen, bottom line, those records have been destroyed. Yeah. Obama's draft registration records from 1980, bye-bye. And you know what? Looks like the microfilm's gone too. And, you gotta laugh at this. You just have to. I know Rachel Maddow doesn't find anything funny with this, but it's like the theater of the absurd. Did anybody really think that Obama's draft records were going to be out there and handed over to anybody? Did anybody really expect that to be what happened? Because, if you did, Anyway, so he finds some really interesting things about his long-form birth certificate that he finally coughed up only after Donald Trump, who could not be shut up, only after the Donald, harped enough about it, and finally they coughed it up. And then, but from what Sheriff Arpaio's cold case posse has to say, the markings on that birth certificate are forged, and they can prove it. So anyway. So what does the good sheriff get for his efforts? Well, of course, he gets Eric Holder suing him. So Eric Holder's Justice Department, well, I should say Barack Obama's Justice Department, Eric Holder is pretty much Barack Obama's, bitch. But the United States Justice Department is suing Sheriff Joe for, quote-unquote, racial profiling. Yeah. Because Sheriff Joe has taken it upon himself to enforce the immigration laws of the United States of America. Because clearly, Eric Holder and the Obama administration and their Justice Department refuses to. No, so I don't know if it's a chicken or an egg scenario here. I really don't. I don't know if this is a retaliation for. I don't know. I don't know if it's a quid pro quo. Sheriff Arpaio did this, and therefore the Justice Department did that, or if it was for every reaction, there's a reaction, and I really don't know the timeline for this. But I do know that Sheriff Joe, he's cut from a different cloth than most men, and he will not be intimidated. Now, at some point, he might be Breitbarted. They're going to say, well, he was an older guy, white guy, a little bit of a paunch to him. Of course, that heart attack was only a matter of time. That's the thing. We need to keep an eye on Sheriff Joe because I have a bad feeling that, he's going to go the way of Andrew Breitbart. And I'm not trying to start any conspiracy stuff. No, I'm just saying. So, anyway, down in the comments section, let me know what you think. Some interesting stuff. All this you can find on the Drudge Report, by the way. That's where I found it. So, everybody take care. See ya!